All right, welcome to another SLG Meetup. Your host Alvaro. Now today is a very special SLG Meetup because we're here with the two talented individuals that made this incredible $280 million private island in Palm Beach called Tarpon Isle happen. Todd Glaser, Brianna Smith, welcome and thank you for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
So we have here Todd Michael Glaser, the mastermind and builder, developer from this fantastic property, and Brianna Smith with Meridith Baer, who also did all the staging. So I just wanted to get started by asking you both, how in the world did this project all started?
Well, we were offered the property about a year and a half ago, wasn't on the market. So we jumped at the chance of buying the island, and we came up with the development of keeping part of the house and building a new house that matched the existing architecture.
Amazing. And how was it for you to do all the staging?
Well, it was wonderful. And we loved collaborating with Todd and Kim. You know, as he mentioned, Kim and I met numerous times to kind of develop the design and really ensure that our, furnishings meshed with the finishes that she'd selected. So, it was great. We love being able to collaborate with, people that are so good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is my wife only does the homes that we develop, and then Meredith Baird only does the homes that we develop also. So they have a great working relationship.
Now, what is so special about this place? Because it's not just the price tag of $280 million, but the fact that it's a private island.
So what happens is a lot of people want to find a safe place to live. So Palm Beach is probably one of the safest places in the world. The second favorite question is, what's the most safest area? And, Tarpon Island's its own island. So it's surrounded by a moat, which is water, has its own bridge with its own gate, and it gives the extra security that you have.
So where do you find the inspiration to do something like this?
The existing house that we copied.
Ah, there you go.
Usually I don't let the tail wag the dog.
Oh.
But in this case, we were able to use the architecture of the existing home and design the new home to match. So it's seamless. You can't see where one started and where one begins and one ends.
How long did it take to...
10 months.
10 months? Wow, that's fast.
Incredible.
For this type of property.
We don't use fast in our company. We use efficient.
Efficient. I love that word. I need to start using it more because it's fantastic. Now, Brianna, I wanted to ask you, when it comes to the things that have changed over the last couple of years with COVID and everybody looking more of that privacy, but also the spaces, right, that are a bit more wellness. And did you have to make adjustments when it comes to those specific trends?
So, I think we're really lucky in, our business that we're able to customize a lot of the furniture, and we created a lot of custom pieces for here as well. Obviously, it's a once-in-a-lifetime property. So it was really great to be able to tailor those pieces to be able to make comfortable spaces. Obviously, this is a gigantic house, but there isn't a space in this house that hasn't been so well designed and then furnished that, nothing feels overscaled or scaled improperly. It's all very comfortable, approachable. In terms of wellness, there's a whole wellness center at the other end of the house. You could quite literally never have to leave.
What is, in my opinion, the most difficult thing of doing this project?
For this project, it was just getting the product. We were in the middle of everything with the supply chain having effect. So we got very lucky. Unfortunately, for the storm in the west coast of Florida, a lot of homes were damaged. So all of a sudden, all these appliances that were being held for Sub-Zero and all the big brands, they didn't need them anymore because the houses were no longer, they were destroyed on the new build. So a lot of inventory came.
Now, when it comes to one of your favorite features of the property, what would it be?
The pool and the tennis pavilion.
There you go. For you, Brianna?
I would also say the tennis pavilion. I love the flooring that, Kim chose for there. I think it's beautiful. That space is just incredible. I love this house.
And then on the tennis pavilion, there's a copper roof, and it has fish scales. If you look, so
Wow.
it'll be a very important beacon when people run on their boats and come by and see it. That'll be one of the focal points. It's starting to patina now, so it'll have some green and some different colors. It's very organic. So in 2-3 years from now, it'll
That's
be
so fantastic.
beautiful. But the house really is a 9,000 square foot house.
Gotcha.
Facing dead south, has the most amazing views. Every window in the house has water views. It has mature trees that we kept. The 2 big banyans in the front that you drive through really directed where the front door of the house was going to be positioned. And then we went from there.
Just the feeling from the very beginning, just crossing that bridge into the house with the trees and everything is just so fantastic. It just gives you this zen energy, which is very difficult to capture in such a huge property, because sometimes you lose that warmth. But here, from everywhere you go, you feel that coziness and at the same time that wow factor, which is a very difficult thing to do. So I wanted to congratulate you both on that. And one thing that
And
we
Kim, we got to thank Kim.
well, Kim as well, which is not joining us here, but definitely a lot of these amazing results are part of that. And one of the questions that we always have for our guest in the show is, what is the meaning of luxury to you?
That's a great question.
You want to answer first?
Happiness.
Oh, there you go. I
That's
like it.
Great answer. I would
That's
say,
it. If it makes you happy, it's luxurious. If it's a brand new car that's a Toyota Celica, I remember getting up every morning, washing my car at 6 in the morning, because I wouldn't drive a brand new car if it was dirty. And that was luxury to me, and it made me happy. And
There you go.
my happiness has grown.
Yeah, keeps evolving. I like that. What about you, Brianna?
you know, I would say luxury for me is getting to be at home. You know, I think there's nothing more luxurious to me than being able to wake up on a Saturday morning and be in, you know, a space that makes me happy. So, you know, it's certainly a gift, and, you know, something I enjoy, being able to make other people's homes feel that way. You know, I think, yeah, the luxury of being in a beautiful space is pretty wonderful.
You know, what's interesting, what she's saying is, so I've built about, in the next 2 years, I'll build almost 200 homes.
Wow.
And it's amazing if I really went back and did like a family tree of who bought, who had kids. Now the kids are having kids because we're a little older. And now they're having grandkids. And it's pretty amazing to see how many families have lived in my homes. They might have sold it, gone somewhere else, but somebody else bought. They started a family, so it'd
That's
be
a
an
beautiful-
interesting, like, you know, like if I really had to sit down and figure that out, it would be unbelievable. How many people my homes have touched.
I think that's a great project to focus on, by the way.
No, it could
That
be
could
a
be
good
something
book.
very impactful.
Absolutely.
And that has a deeper meaning, right, than just
Sure.
building the house. It's like the people that live there. Which
Well,
just
that's the gratification.
Absolutely.
You know, every once in a while you walk in, somebody's not happy, and, you know, you see them at dinner, and they're like,
oh,
you know, the roof leaks. Okay,
yeah. we'll fix that one.
we'll be there.
Yeah. Now, my last question, and this is something that I always encourage the listeners to pay attention, because there is a lot of real estate professionals out there, also entrepreneurs that are trying to get to your level. And what will be something that you will encourage people to do? What's been like a great takeaway?
I mean, I'm going to write a book one day. It's going to be called Base Hits, Green Bananas, and Serendipity.
Oh, I love the title.
One of the items is a base hit. So, you know, people always email me or on Instagram, whatever they call it, DM, I guess. And they say, oh, you know, any advice? I said, just get in the game. Buy an efficiency. Renovate it. If you could do that, you could do a $220 million home. It's the same moving parts. Finding it, buying it, permitting it, putting in a kitchen, putting in a bathroom, putting in floors, maybe fixing a roof. And never get over your skis. And what happens is, if you get in the game and you swing and you get a base hit, now you're on and you might score. Now you got a chance. Every once in a while you swing and you don't even mean it, and the ball hits the bat so good it goes out of the park. So every once in a while you get a home run, but you can't swing. So, you know, A-Rod and all these home run guys, one thing they have is huge stats for how many home runs they've hit. A-Rod's, I think, the second or third highest strikeout in the history of the game. You know, and that's, you know, something that is mental. So mentally strong A-Rod is that he struck out so many times, but he was still the champion of hitting, but he had one way. I'm different. I like to take it slow. And I've built up to this. We've both been successful. It's both different ways. But how many A-Rods are there? Not many.
Right.
But guys like me, in different aspects, have taken time and commercial. Bought their first building. You know, a guy named Alan Wasserstein. I went to junior high and elementary school. He owns half of Doral and was buying it in 1991.
Wow.
These little office buildings with warehouses. And now he has thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of square feet. So, you know, is it luxury like my house is? No, but it's real estate. You know, and you got to pick your lane and stick to your lane and never get over your skis.
Wow, that's amazing. We can't wait to read your book, although we got that right summary right here.
The book's going to be good, but I have to finish.
Finish it, and then do the audiobook as well, because your voice is very inspiring as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you should do the audiobook as well. Now, what about you, Brianna?
Ooh, I think for me, it's, you know, it's hard work, basically. You know, I started with Meridith Baer right out of college. I've been there for about 13 years. And, you know, I just think just keeping your nose to the grindstone and just, you know, continuing to go after the next thing and, you know, always picking up the phone and just being there for your clients, working hard. I think there's, you know, nothing better. And
But Brianna's like clay, which is great because you set a date for her to move, and then now you have to move the date. Never a problem. And then we get lucky because we finish sooner, and then we got to move it back. Never a problem. Sometimes we're not finished with the whole house. So she comes in and does half the house. Not a problem. I don't recommend that, but she's been very good with us.
Adjusted.
And I don't know how many people she'll do that for, but she does. She picks up her phone. But a lot of people are strict, you know, they're corporate. This is it. You move the date. I'm sorry, you can't do it. 3 weeks later, it's like, then there's a story that something happened to the container, you know, and it's like, you know.
Well, I like that.
Working with them.
I guess the hard work, the patience, and the adjustment is also important, as long as the end result is always in mind.
Well, that's the best. You know, and my wife works very well with Brianna, and so does Andreas, who runs my projects in Palm Beach. I try to stay out of it. I deal with the outside. I like doing the landscaping. I designed the pool here. I did everything in the layout. Our architect, Roger Jensen, was instrumental in putting the whole thing together. I came here one day. I said, put the front door, master bedroom across, da-da-da. Within 5 minutes, I was there. He knew what to do, and that was it. He drew it. I was like, wow, and that was it.
Fantastic.
It wasn't like 15 times going around.
No, I think this is incredible. And look, I'm super excited to show you guys what we're talking about here, because your work just speaks by itself. I mean, not only the previous homes that you've done, but this one in particular, I think is the cherry on the top of all the successes.
Oh, no, for sure.
Because it's a wow property.
You know, this and Carl Fisher's house with the tower that Colombo, that was by far my best. But now this is, because this is in Palm Beach. This is a different market, a different attitude, a different safety, everything.
right.
No, it's so many amazing components getting together here that it's just magical. So
it has everything but one thing.
the person to live here, exactly. Which, by the way, I think that the person that it's out there looking for the dream property, this is it.
The dream.
Because this is just like out of a dream.
Well, there's a saying, there's an ass for every seat.
There you go. This is a big seat, so we need a big ass.
We only need one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate your time.
problem.
And congratulations again for what you're doing. This is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Please make sure to follow them both, because their projects are incredible, very inspirational as well. As they both said, consistency, hard work, get yourself started, and hey, maybe one day you'll get to this level. In the meantime, let's go get a nice tour of the property, and thank you all for watching.